What's going on, bow fishing people? Alright, so today I'm going to do a video on my Powermax generator setup. I have went through the gambit of, batteries with generators, and now I've gone to the end and I'm like, you know what, screw all that, and I am running purely on a generator. I purchased the Powermax 4500 watt generator and 3 converters, and that runs my lights and my trolling motor. Last video I did about a month ago or so on batteries versus generators. I had not actually tried out this system yet, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to work. I had called up Powermax, told them what trolling motor I was using and what lights I was using, how many lights and all that stuff, and they sent me what they said I needed. I'm definitely not smart enough to do all the math on that and figure it all out. So they did the math for me, and they sent me what they said I needed, and hadn't had a chance to actually put it in action yet, so I didn't really want to talk about it too much, but I was really excited, and man, it paid off. I could not have been happier. Ran down to Tennessee, did a video on that. Video wasn't that great, sorry about that, but anyhow, we used this setup on that trip down to Tennessee, and man, I tell you what, this thing performed. I was a little skeptical because I really thought that running this trolling motor off of this generator with the converters and everything, thought I was going to be popping breakers on this thing, and I ran that trolling motor and the lights as hard as I possibly could pretty much all night long, and it never once failed. It never once gave me any problems, and quite honestly, it acted like it didn't even care. It just kept on keeping on, man. And so super happy with this setup. So now I'm ready to show it to the world, and hopefully, help some guys out that are asking that question. I'm seeing a lot of guys right now asking, man, what batteries should I do? How many batteries, trolling motors, lights, generators, all that stuff. And for me, like I said, I've gone the gamut of all of it, and honestly, run a generator by itself with the converters, and you'll never have problems as far as I'm concerned so far. So anyhow, let's get into this setup and I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on. All right. Okay, so this is the generator that I bought. 4500 peak, 3700 watt rated, obviously. So, you can run pretty consistent 3700 watts inverter generator by Powermax. All right. In the front here, we've got a 30 amp. Basically, that is a camper plug-in with 2 regular plug-ins, 20 amps on those. These are both 120 volts. You just got your battery on-off switch right here. What that's for is this baby has electric start. And it's that simple. You got your breakers. Turn it off. You also have your economy button, to save a little bit of fuel. I kept the economy off, didn't bother running it, but I had no problems. And then just your on-off switch. You also have, on this side over here, you got your pull cord. The only thing about this that I have noticed, the very first time you try to use it for the day, it doesn't like to start off with this button, just using the electric start. Push that electric start, it'll try to start twice. Typically it won't start. Give that pull cord a yank and it pops right off every time. And then after that, then your electric start works every time. I'm assuming just because it's cold. One other really cool thing that I like, this baby comes with a remote control. So you can turn this generator on and off from the bowfishing deck with your fob right here. So thought that was pretty cool. It's not too big of a deal, but I thought that was pretty neat. Another cool thing is, if I can get it pulled out here, it is on wheels, and it has like a suitcase handle that comes out here, so makes it easy to transport around. So that is the generator, the Powermax 4500 watt generator. Like I said, I was running my trolling motor and my lights all night long, and I was running them wide open, and this thing never gave me any fits. Sorry, stare at a generator the whole time. This thing never gave me any fits at all, man. I just couldn't have been happier. So I am running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should know that, but anyhow, I'm running 800 watt custom fits LED lights. So you know, those don't pull a lot of amps, but still, you know, it's enough. It pulls a little bit. So I have those lights set up. They just come back to a single drop cord. It's pretty simple, and just plug that baby, you know, right in. If I can, hang on. This is tough doing with one hand. All right, so obviously just plug that into that port right there, and you're good to go. Now, the big thing that I know everybody wants to see is the setup for the trolling motor. So in order to run the trolling motor, I've got a 36 volt trolling motor. So what I've got inside of the front of my boat right here, I built this cabinet. It opens up, and on the inside of there, that's where I keep my Powermax converters. These converters are the PM355LK. Powermax makes several different converters, and they all serve different functions, and they all do different things depending on what your purpose is. So what I honestly did, guys, is I've had Powermax converters also in the past to run other stuff, but there were some things about them that didn't seem like it was quite working right. So I just called Powermax. I just called them directly, and I explained to them, you know, what setup I was going to have. And like I said, they custom designed this for me, or custom, whatever. They told me what I needed, and sent it to me. Now, on that note, when I called them, I already had looked up all this stuff, and I had a general idea of what it was going to cost me. You know, I looked it up on like Amazon and some other people that sold this stuff, so I kind of had an idea of what it was going to cost. And I got to tell you, the price that they shot me, it was considerably less than what I was prepared to pay, based on what I'd seen online on other places. So I'm not going to tell you how much it was, mainly because I know right now prices are crazy on stuff. They're going up, they're going down, they're all over the place, and I don't want to tell you what I paid for this, and you guys call up Powermax and be like, hey, you sold it to this guy for this much, you know, and the prices went up. So, but I'm just going to tell you, I was super happy with what they charged me for this. I was prepared to pay way more. So I see a lot of guys asking on Facebook, you know, where to buy Powermax, where to buy Powermax. I don't want to be a jerk and cut out the middleman, you know, the small guy with a small business, but I called him directly, and I got one hell of a price. So, you know, take that into consideration, do what you want with it. But anyhow, so that's where I keep my 3 converters that run my trolling motor. Now, off of those 3 converters, they're all tied together, obviously, to get 36 volts because they're 12, 12, and 12. They just come up here to a heavy duty extension cord that I have ran over here to an outlet. This outlet I can just plug in. This cord that I got in my hand is what goes to my trolling motor. Just plug that in. Cord runs up there underneath my deck, and it runs up to my trolling motor. I'm running the Motor Guide X5 digital. Had this thing, this is my second year having this trolling motor. Verdict is still out a little bit. It's been okay so far. Verdict is still out. I need to put another year or so on it before I can tell you what I really feel about this. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But anyhow, so that is the cord that goes to the converters, and then from the converters to this outlet right here. This is just your basic outlet that you would have for a camper. So then I just went to Walmart and I just bought a regular camper extension cord. These things are kind of pricey. They're like 50 bucks. I just bought a camper extension cord. This is the stock end, and then I cut it to length to go from the generator over to the outlet. I just cut it to length that I wanted, and then I put on a regular plug that you can buy at your hardware store to plug into that. So the only thing about this setup that you're going to want to watch, I can totally see this happening to somebody someday. If you got this generator running and you decide, hey, I'm going to plug in the trolling motor. So you come down here and you plug this bad boy in. This is super hard to do one-handed, by the way. Okay, you plug that in. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Problem is, now you just made this end hot. So I tell everybody, do not plug this end in first. Keep this end plugged into, keep that end plugged in. Let this be the end that you plug and unplug. So yeah, man, this is my new Powermax generator setup, and I am super happy with it. It was flawless on our trip down to Tennessee, and I put it through the paces. And also, just so you know, I was concerned, and I know there's going to be guys already commenting on this, thinking this, well, you can't have those boxes in there, they're going to overheat. I thought the same thing. I was checking those boxes and this wiring. I was checking it all night long for heat. There was not an ounce of heat on anything, on the boxes, on the wire, or anything. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, later in the summer when it's, 90 degrees out, that those things might not heat up a little bit at that time, but I'm just going to keep an eye on them, and if it does start heating up, I'll just open the lid. I'm sure I'll get enough airflow opening that lid at that point. So I think I'm going to be okay. I hope. I don't know. I might burn the boat down. Who knows? Whatever. That's why you got insurance, right? I keep telling my wife I want a bigger boat. Shh, don't tell the insurance company. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start this thing up and just kind of show you the generator running with the lights, and I'll turn the trolling motor on, see it spin, whatever. But yeah, highly recommend this Powermax converter setup to run your whole boat. Lights, trolling motor, hell, whatever else you want to plug into it, I'm sure it'll probably take it, because it didn't even seem like it phased it. So I'm gonna start this thing up and show you what it looks like. this generator is quiet. There was times before when I'd actually have two 200-watt generators on this boat, just for added benefit if maybe one crapped out, lost gas, whatever. So there's a lot of times I was running two 200-watt, 2,000-watt generators, and this thing is quieter than those generators as far as I'm concerned. I really like this Powermax generator. So there was something else I was thinking, but I don't remember what it was. So anyhow, guys, yeah, check out the Powermax generator setup. I don't know. I ain't got nothing else to say. Go fishing. Oh, don't forget the butt plug. Peace out.